Yo, what's up, family? Yo, there's a reason I got all these books here, because it's for you. It's for all you parents and all you kids out there. And that's why I'm gonna title this video, No Kid is Dumb. They just have to be inspired. So think about what I'm telling you. There's no kid out there that's dumb. If they are inspired by the right person, oh, trust me, you'll see so much potential in them. You know, you'll see so much elevation in their learning level where you be like, wow, they just need to be inspired. Therefore, when you make it intriguing for them, you'll see progress. The reason I'm saying that and the reason I'm doing this video, we all seen funny videos on the internet and such like that, right? Let's say, for example, we all seen this video here, right? Where they made fun of, they had the mother and father teaching the son, right? And they say, all right, we're gonna do the word problem. All right, if Johnny had 5 apples and he gives Sarah 2, how many he got left? And the little boy is like, 13? And they're like, boy, ain't no 13. What are you talking about, boy? You better get this right. You know, the mother's yelling at him, and the father's like, look, man, babe, you can't beat the answer into him. See, this is what I'm talking about. Now, it was just a funny video, but I'll tell you this, a lot of us actually been through that. I remember my wife got on my case when our kids was real little. I wouldn't beat my daughters, but I was yelling at them for getting it wrong. I didn't realize how bad I was. And I'm very thankful that my wife got on my case and said, babe, come on, how you think they're gonna learn if you yelling at them? Boy, I was so happy because she showed me I could do better. Remember the saying you always hear me say that grandparents taught, when you know better, you do better. And I was so thankful that my wife pointed that out to me, because at that point I realized it, and sure enough, I was more calm and intriguing to my daughters. See, that could be the word of the day. Intriguing just simply means to arouse, to fascinate, you know, make very interesting. See, so now let's take that same kid, that little joke video, right? Where they yelling at the kid, pop him up on his head. Because one kid said, one video they showed the kid, they said, he got 5 apples and he gave 2 away. How many he got? And the kid said, purple. Like, it was funny. But let's take that adverse, funny video, and let's put a spin on it in a positive way. Watch this. If your kid, like I said, no kid is dumb. They just need to be inspired. So let's say some kid out there who is not learning at a level that you think they should be, or the school think they should be, right? So let's take that same equation. 5 apples, give away 2, how many got left? Let's say you keep getting that wrong. Make it interesting. Make it intriguing for that kid. You know how you can simply do that? Instead of putting it in his head, show him $5. What kid gonna like money? Kids love money. You see what I mean by it? Make it intriguing, make it fascinating, make it interesting, make it arouse their interest, their imagination. I bet you if you told that same kid who having a problem with the math problems, if you actually put tangible money in front of him, money that he meant tangible just means that you can see, that you can touch, you know. So if you put actual tangible money right in front of him and you gave him that same question that he always gets wrong, and now you said, if Mike has 5 apples and he gave Johnny 2, well, you're gonna use money now. You say, if you tell your son or your daughter, if you got $5, if I gave you $5 and you had to give $2 to your sister, how many dollars you have left? I guarantee you get it right. See, that's why I said it's a reason I put these books out here, because like I said, I've always been a big reader. Look at this book here. This is by Coretta Scott King, you know, Dr. King's wife. This was a book, like I said, Money Hungry. It's a child's book, but boy, oh boy, I tell you, me, my wife, and both of my daughters read it. This book was all about money. How this little girl, she went to school selling candy because she was money hungry. Title of the book. Always wanted money, 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 money. She used to go clean people's houses, always trying to get a scheme on how to get money, 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 money. So you got to make things interesting. As I said, intriguing. Let me give you another story. I remember when my kids was very little. I'm talking elementary age little. And what I used to do to them, what I would encourage a lot of you parents out there to do, even when it comes to the reading, now I told you with the math thing, give them actual dollars, coins that you could tell them, this will be yours if you get it right. I guarantee you to get it right. Another way you could do that with the reading, read stories to your kids. Remember, kids is going to imitate what they see. So if they see you smoking and drinking, there's a high probability that they may do that as they get older. If they see you reading all the time and you're reading to them, it's a high probability they'll pick it up. Read a story to your kids at night before they go to bed. Remember that? See, we heard of that, seen it in the movies and all that, but I actually really used to do that to my daughters. I used to do it to their daycare too. I used to get permission from the daycare school, and when I used to go pick them up, I would tell them I'm coming in early. If you mind, could I read a story to the entire group? Man, I used to have the daycare staff and all the adults used to sit there while I would tell a story to the whole group and the parents. I mean, it was something that was intriguing to me that I wanted to intrigue them. I wanted to raise their imaginations. I wanted to make it interesting to them, arousing to them. So you know what I'm saying? Read to your kids. Have books around your house. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Have a bookshelf. Another thing I used to do with my kids when they was little, like I said, elementary age, like I said, you got to make things intriguing. Here's something I used to do to them all the time. I thought it was so funny. Me and my wife used to crack up. Let's say because I always ask them, every day they came home, I would say, what you learned today? That's another one of my videos. Never stop learning. Check it out. But I used to ask them every day, what you learn today? What you learn today, right? And so I remember, for example, one day my daughter came home. I remember it was my daughter Jada. She came home, right? So let's say she was like in the 2nd grade, right? She was so happy. She's like, oh, Daddy, guess what we learned today? You know how kids is, they jump around. She's like, guess what we learned today, Dad? Yo, the teacher, she had us, we drew on the board, and then we had to put it on the paper, and this and that. So while she was telling me this, all of a sudden, I jumped into her conversation. I said, oh, that was nice. I said, oh, and guess what? Know what else? I know that girl, the girl that's in your class. What's her name? She got the long hair, the girl, I forgot her name. Now, you know I don't know the girl, but see, this is what I was doing. I was intriguing. I was raising her imagination. I was making arousal in her thinking. And I made her think for a moment. I was like, oh, what about that girl? That girl that's in the class, she got the long hair. You know that girl? And then she was like, Jessica? I was like, yeah, Jessica, that girl, yo, she good. Then my daughter was like, yeah, Dad, she was good too. And I said, oh, how about that boy? You know the boy, he got the, Dad, look at me slow. I said, look at the boy. You know the boy that got he had them sneakers. He had the white sneakers. And she's like, oh, you mean Marcus? I said, yeah, Marcus and Jessica. And then my daughter was like, how you know, Daddy? How you know they was there? How you know? Yeah, they was good too. The teacher had all of us there. We was the main 3. How you know that, Daddy? See, all I did was make it intriguing for her. And you know what? She was so happy telling me her story. And she thought I was some type of magician / I could read her mind. She's like, how you know, Daddy? How you know about that? Now, this is what you got to do, parents. You got to intrigue your kids. We could go through a whole array of books. Look at this, the Negro Almanac. It's about people of color. All the historical stuff that, unfortunately, a lot of these negative laws are still in the books today. Another one of my videos, I was talking about, look at my out of breath. One of my videos called Time, Respected. And in that video, I spoke about how I used to try to turn a lot of books onto a lot of my friends, and they was not interested. Here go a whole array of them right here. These books here, this is the whole Donald Goins collection. Great books. He's very scrupulous at explaining everything in his books. Make you feel like you're there. I don't care if you're talking about a pimp or the drug game, dope game, white man's justice, black man's grief, whatever the case. Yo, these books was excellent. We did a video on every last one of them. So not only we talk about it, we give you our perspective, and I give you personal life experiences that I've been through. We could go through so many. No, this has always been my favorite. These are the type of books, Hercules, the Greek mythology, that got me reading in the first place by a very good friend of mine when I was a kid. We all know the stories of Hercules, the Greek mythology stuff. My friend Jamil, he passed away, but he turned me on to Greek mythology. I remember when I was in the 1st grade, and he told me about Kronos, and how Kronos ate all his kids, and he was in his stomach. I was like, what? And they showed the pictures, and I was interested. And that's how I got intrigued to read. You know what I'm saying? I remember this book here, The Coldest Winter. Hey, a lot of y'all read that. Y'all know how great that book was. Ooh, I think I read that in 2 days. That book was awesome. Look at it. We could keep going. The Color of Law. All the injustice that they did to people of color, such as redlining for housing, not getting the loans, and all kind of nonsense like that. I did a video on that called Black on Black Crime is a Lie. And I touched on that. I gave you a great story about snakes in there. Stolen Legacy. The real, when they talk about how Aristotle Aristotle and all of them, how great they was, and how Herodotus told you who was the real fathers of medicine. It wasn't these people. A lot of these are Europeans. They came from Europe over to Africa and studied for years. And when I say years, 20, 30 years. And they took that knowledge back to Europe, and then all of a sudden they say they was the fathers. How y'all the fathers when you came to Africa to learn? Great books, great books. So like I said, when I would talk to some of my friends and I would tell them, hey man, let me tell you about some great books, man. If I knew they was into, you always want to look at these, let's say these street urban movies, right? I would tell them about books that was better than those movies. I could turn you into this book. I'm telling you, you're gonna love this book. You're gonna learn this book, that book. But you know, a lot of times they weren't particularly interested. So I would try a different angle. Then I said, I'll start trying to do my videos here. And Marcus Gardner, you know, I love that red, black, and green. I was getting ready to say, one of my artists I don't see here is David Baldacci. Man, I love his book, but here we go right here. We got a David Baldacci book right here, and this is Total Control. But then I just realized, another one we got up here is Target. That's David Baldacci. Oh man, we did a video on that too. It's called Target. You're gonna love it, because like I said, we always put our spin on it and give you a personal lesson on it. But ultimately, what I was saying to any and every parent out there, make life intriguing. Make learning intriguing for your kids. And I guarantee you, you'll see them more progressing in learning. But you cannot just throw a book in front of them and say, you need to read that and learn it. Or your teacher said it's your homework time, now do it. Do it with them. Make it intriguing. Give them stories of when you was a child and stuff that you had to learn. Trust me, when you do it together, it become a game to them and it's no longer learning. They'll be learning, not real. To them, they think they're playing a game, but they're really learning. That was one of the ways I picked up learning so well as a kid. Because I remember me and my cousin Lil Cole, we just used to play cards all the time. So we was always counting, always counting. Then we'd be on the highway. We'd be out the window, in our project window, looking out the window. I had to count all the cars going north. He had to count all the cars going south. And it was to see who get to 100 first. See, this is little silly games we played. But these things, we playing a game, but we didn't realize we was learning. We was learning how to count math real quick. And then we took it further with, then whoever got to 100 first, we came up with another game where we say stuff like, all right, now I'm gonna count. For every car that go this way, I gotta count, see who gets to 50 first. I gotta count every car that go this way, but for every car that go that way, I gotta minus the car that go this way. So could you imagine, I'm seeing 4 cars go, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then another car comes this, now I go 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, here goes another car, drag back to 5. 6, 7, 8, 3 cars. Boom, 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 back to 5. I had to keep doing that, and we would do that in the window all day. But we didn't realize we was learning math skills that made us quick with numbers. But we was playing a game. So what we was doing, playing a game. Make learning intriguing and interesting. Like I said, the title of the video is called, No Kid is Dumb. They just need to be inspired. Look at this book here. We did a video on that called Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. That's volume 2. There was a great statement I made in that video. You need to watch it. Trust me, it's a great video. It's a long video. Trust me when I tell you, it's a great video. There was one part I read in that book. I loved it where the mother said, they was talking about how the mother tends to raise the daughter and love the son. In other words, you disciplining the daughter, but you letting your son get away with a lot of stuff. And sometimes it turns back on her. I remember the part where she said she told her son to clean the dishes. And the next day, she realized he didn't clean the dishes. So when dinner was ready, she went and she told him, go ahead, sit down, I'm about to make your plate. And she went and got a plate of food. She went and got a dirty plate out the sink with all crap on it that he didn't wash the dishes. And she went to put the food on the plate, and he was like, Mom, what you doing? What you did that plate? She said, yeah, but I told you to clean the plate, didn't I? So since you ain't clean the plate, I'm about to put your food on this dirty plate. He said, wait, I'll clean the dishes right now. You got to make things interesting and intriguing. So remember, like I said, no kid is dumb. They just have to be inspired. We did a video on a lot of these books. What's this, a Michael Baisden? We did a lot of these books here. Like I said, I could just go through some, I love Eric Jerome Dickey. Woo! This is one of my best artists too, man. Great book. He had a series, it's called the Gideon series. I think it was about 4 volumes. I did one video on that, and it's called Rolex Watch. Check that video out, you'll love it. And it's touching on that video. It's just a little scene that touched on you. But yeah, it's so much that we could talk about. But ultimately, what I'm saying to any and every parent out there, make learning intriguing to your kid. Therefore, remember the title of the video. No kid is dumb. They just have to be inspired. Remember how I told you I did that with my little daughter? She thought I was a psychic. How I know about Jessica? How I know about Marcus? Oh, Daddy, how you know? Yeah, because I'm making it interesting. She's making her story interesting. I'm involved. I'm interjecting myself into her story. It's like double judge. You waiting to jump in. You're waiting to jump in. Right? That's all I was doing. I was waiting to jump into her story, make it intriguing to her. And therefore, she couldn't wait till the next day to tell me another story. Hey, family. Hope y'all enjoy that. Subscribe, share, like, and comment. Peace.